haven't seen the previous video, watch it first because this is history and it needs to be told patiently and diligently. So, welcome once again back to this trip. Why Syria? And why not Rome, where the Pope lives today and presides over millions of Christians? Remember, Christianity in Kerala is pre-Nestorian, pre-Latin, and as old as Christianity in Judea. This technically assumes that there was a Christ disciple in this part of the world much before the Assyrians got Christianized in the 1st to 3rd centuries in Roman Syria and Roman Assyria. The entire region came under Roman rule in the 2nd century after a Parthian-inspired Assyrian rebellion, which obviously means Christianity in Malabar coast is older than Rome too. Christianity spread after the death of Jesus Christ. By the end of the 3rd century, the Roman Empire was fully immersed in Christianity. In 325 AD, the first council was summoned by Roman Emperor Constantine I to administer the Christian world. It was held in Nicaea, now in Istanbul, and is known as the First Council of Nicaea. The entire Christian community across the world was broadly formed as 3 distinct groups, and each group came under the authority of the 3 patriarchates then in existence, namely Rome, Alexandria, and Antioch. The current South Indian geographical region was under the jurisdiction of the Patriarchate of Antioch, widely believed to be around the 3rd century. 2 more patriarchates were added later. Constantinople was added in the 4th century and Jerusalem in the 5th century. Because of distance, the Kerala Christians couldn't travel to Antioch, their jurisdictional headquarters, and receive ordinations as priests or bishops, and then come back in time to serve enough. So, an archbishop was appointed as administrator, who was called Catholicos of the East, to administer areas east to the Persian Empire, which included what is India now. To get an idea of the early Christians in India, one must get an idea of who they were and what they followed. The Brahmin conversion theory is a bluff that Kerala Christians have been fed for centuries. Obviously, they forgot to study history since there were no Brahmins here till the 12th century. All followers of Jesus in the southwestern Malabar coast were called Nazranis, as followers of the Nazarene in its earlier avatars. They were united. Without any ecclesiastical assistance, the Nazranis were spiritually guided by regular priests and leaders sent by the Patriarchate of Antioch and partially by the Chaldean Patriarchate of Baghdad, who did not interfere in the day-to-day administrative matters. The early existence of Nazranis almost went unnoticed by the world, especially by the Romans, for many years since it was an indigenous group. But as news reached Rome, Pope Nicholas IV sent John of Montecorvino, a Franciscan monk, around 1289 to the Middle East and China. He went back with the news about the traditions and style followed in these regions, which included the Malabar coast, as he happened to pass through the region. After him, around 1323, Jordanus Catalani, a Catalan Dominican missionary, was the next. John de Marignoli succeeded him, and he established a base in Kollam, which flourished with many more arrivals. So what went smoothly as united Kerala Christians from AD 52 started crumbling in AD 1599. Let's see how. In 15th century, Portuguese arrived in the coast, especially the Goa region. In the meantime, regular communication from the Syrian region had declined, perhaps because the sea route traffic was controlled by the Portuguese, who became all-powerful in the region. Click on the next video to complete this trip and listen to historical perspectives.